Hello all, welcome back to Infinite Loop. I hope you all are staying safe. Today we're going to talk about upcoming economy superpowers. When we think about fastest growing countries in the world, the first nation that comes to our mind is People's Republic of China. It's because China has been growing at a faster rate for past several years. Despite China being dominating the world's economy, the balance of economic powers has started shifting to other nations which we may not even expect. Few nations are already sharing a part of China's manufacturing process. So we might be witnessing a creation of next generation superpowers. Why this is happening is little complex. It was in 1970s China started shifting from communism to economic powers. They started building economic zones for massive ports and factories to increase their productivity and efficiency. When these economic zones were opened for foreign trade and investment, China's economy started getting exploded. China could produce goods of equal quality at substantially lower cost. This was because of the extremely lower wage along with the tax laws. That's how everything started getting made in China. By 2010, one-third of the world's products started getting manufactured in China. And in 15 years, China turned around from a nation of farmers to second largest economy after United States. And from there, country took over the tech sector. Ever since then, all the governments around the world was trying to push Chinese technology outside their country. They were trying all their ways to manufacture goods domestically. Few months before, Department of Justice in United States requested FCC to terminate China's telecom authorization in US on ground of national security risk. Meanwhile, few strange things happened. China's population started getting wealthy. In 1990, the average wage of a worker was $150, which was increased by 8,500% by the end of 2019. This is the reason why there was a slight decrease in 2016 in China's manufacturing process, and it was first time in country's modern history. Despite of all these factors of rising labor costs to geopolitical issues, China still remains the world's largest manufacturer. This is the reason why when there was a pandemic broke out in Wuhan and there was a situation to shut down China factories, the whole world faced shortage of essential goods. Most of the nations relied on China for their goods and had no backup plan. For example, China is the leading manufacturer for medical equipment, and when world was in huge demand for masks, gloves and ventilators, we couldn't meet the needs. And coming to drugs and medicinal ingredients, roughly 100 commonly used drugs were in shortage. This not only affect the medical industry, but it virtually hit other industries as well. Industries like tech, fashion, retail, all were facing shortage of inventories and a prolonged delay on their orders. This has led many nations to think about changing their manufacturing strategy. They realized that they had too many eggs in one basket and they had relied upon one nation to run their business. 2 months before, Japan declared $2.2 billion incentive plan to shift their manufacturing process from China to Japan and also to other diversified Asian countries. It is said that almost 2,600 companies are thinking about shifting their production process from China. Now, here is the question. Who will be the biggest beneficiary out of this scenario? First of which would be an Asian country that is going along an economical boom for last few decades, which is Vietnam. When Chinese population started getting wealthy, companies like Nike started their production in Vietnam. Following that, many other companies did the same as they found substantial lower cost of production. Today, Vietnam is considered as a middle income country with a GDP per capita of $3,000. Keep in mind that Vietnam has shifted from extreme poverty to middle income country in just 20 years. And if this trend continues, Vietnam is gonna surpass countries like United Arab Emirates, Singapore and even Hong Kong. Another country is Mexico. It is said that Mexico will be receiving between $12 billion to $19 billion business in China's manufacturing redirect. It's also said that 2/3 of the corporates in the United States is thinking about shifting their production plant from China to Mexico. One other country which has shown growth in recent years is India. India has almost the same population of China with 1.3 billion people. Difference is that India is mostly into agricultural sector with poor infrastructure. Since 2002, India has shown a growth of GDP per capita from $470 to $2,100 by 2020. This economic growth has helped India in lifting 300 million citizens out of poverty in last 18 years. Now here is the thing. Compared to Vietnam, India's growth was not out of manufacturing process. It has come from service-based industries like banking, retail and information technology. Except that there was an economic experiment in 2014, which was the manufacturing of cell phones. In 2014, India was manufacturing 10 million cell phones a year, and by the end of 2019, India is manufacturing 115 million cell phones a year. Still, India's infrastructure is inadequate to compete with China. But with investment by big companies like Apple, who has started making some of their iPhones in Chennai, we might see an expansion in India's manufacturing in the near future. One key advantage is that India has got largest young workforce at extremely lower labor cost. This has made India an attractive place for many companies to produce their goods in India, though they will have to face infrastructure problems along their way. So if India fixes its problem of infrastructure and capitalize its manufacturing industry like China did in 1990s, we might see India as a true economic superpower behind China and United States. Though we might see few countries getting benefited out of China's manufacturing downturn, we cannot expect China to give up their position of world's major factory anytime soon. It may take 20 years or so for any other country to catch up with China. If countries like India, Mexico or Vietnam comes as next China, then what will be the next manufacturing hub? It is also said that in next 50 years, with the help of augmented reality and robotics, most of the countries will start producing their goods domestically within their territory. So let's keep looking forward. Share me with your ideas in the comment box. Do you think China will take a downturn in manufacturing industry? If so, what will be the next manufacturing hub? Or who will be the next economic superpower? Thanks for watching. Take care. Bye-bye.